Madhouse Podcasting Network.
Jeremy, why don't you lead this one? I'll do the introductions and then you can start it off.
Well, I can do the introductions.
Okay, then you can start the whole thing. I'll sit quiet a little bit, and if I come up with something, then I'll throw it in there because there's a lot of things that.
I'm just sitting here like, y'all go ahead.
I know.
Greg's like, these guys are fucking morons. Why did I decide to do this?
Y'all sound like a damn married couple, I swear.
That's exactly.
How did you not know this was going to happen, though?
I know, true, though, honestly.
Yeah.
Have you seen the podcast? That's all we do.
Yeah, I've seen it. I watched a few episodes. Yeah, y'all just
bicker
y'all
on.
go back and forth, I swear. Yeah. Y'all like, oh, no, what about this? It's like he cuts you off, and then he cuts you off. It's like back and forth.
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah.
It's entertainment. We got to entertain everybody, man.
There may be things, though, that come up that get sparked in my brain that I remember as you go through your journey. So I'll probably chime in and ask you about that.
For sure, that works.
You know? I just figure, hey, I'm going to let Jeremy do the talking this time. Look at him, like, whatever.
Yeah, whatever. Anyways, well, I just want to thank you, Greg, for taking the time to speak with us and being on the podcast. I'm looking forward to hearing your history.
No, I appreciate it, Jeremy. I mean, this is gonna be dope. When Scott hit me up about it, I was like, oh yeah, I'm all for it, dude.
Yeah. So yeah, let's just get into it. So I'll do the intro.
Cool.
Welcome everybody to another episode of Behind the Mask. I'm here with Scott.
Enthusiasm.
Fucking dick. God, I swear this guy's. Anyways, so I'm here with Scott, the one that interrupts everybody, and we are here with Greg Daniels, aka Seaweed, from Knott Scary Farms, Ghost Town Streets. I don't know if you've worked at any other area, but
yeah, Boardwalk. Yeah, I was at
okay.
Boardwalk.
So Boardwalk. Yeah. So welcome, Greg.
What's up, y'all? Thank you for having me. Appreciate it. Thanks for the opportunity. It's be a dope ride. So
yeah, man. I, as an observer of the haunt industry for quite a bit since I've retired, I've seen you here and there and was thoroughly impressed, by the way. And then, being able to work back at Haunt in 2015, I got to theoretically work with you. And I always referred to you as Bobby 2.0 because I didn't know who you were. And I'm like, so I was like, I went to Scott and I'm like, dude, is Bobby back? Like, is he, he's like, nah. And I'm like, oh, okay. So that's Bobby 2.0 because you guys had the same look.
Yeah.
I
remember the very first time seeing you in 2015, like when you came back and scared, you came up to, I'll never forget this story with you. You came up to me and you were like, Alex, oh my God, like I haven't seen you in so long. And I didn't have a chance to say like a word because it was like super quick. And you're like, oh my God, I see you, bro. Like I didn't know you were back, blah, blah, blah. And you just took off. And then come to find out, I was like, who the fuck was that? And they're like, oh, that's like Jeremy. I was like, Tavares, like, get the fuck out. Like, it was both like, the fanboy in me was like, no fucking way. But the other part of me was like, he thinks I'm fucking Alex. I should play this up. And in my heart, I was like, nah. But when it was funny when you found out who I was, you came up to me like, oh shit, I'm sorry, dude. Like, I'm Jeremy. Nice to meet you. I was like, dude, it's all good. And that's how we kind of like kicked off our friendship. So,
yeah, man. Yeah. I thought that was super cool.
Oh God.
Yeah, man. So let's start from the beginning. What made you decide to be a scary guy?
I don't know. I think more of the fact I fell in love with the event. I went to the first time when I was like 12, 13. I think it was like in middle school. And I went with some friends and remember like seeing it, hearing about my cousins going to it. And I was like never into anything scary. And then I went to the event. I couldn't get past the front gate, right? Like I was stuck at the front gate.
Damn, really?
Yeah, like I was stuck at the front gate. I'm talking about I couldn't, like I went with a group of friends. They left me. I couldn't get past the front gate. Wow. And I was sitting there like, man, like these guys are dope, but they're like probably fucking like gonna kill me. But anyways, I think I was in there for like probably like 2-3 hours, and then I left, and I had my mom come pick me up, and then my mom was like, all right, there's a way, like we got to ease you into it. So she bought me seasons of Scream. And then I watched that like religiously. I'm talking like every single day, like middle school through like high school. And I remember like idolizing you guys. I was like, fuck. And then I remember just watching it. I was like, one day I'm gonna work this event and just like work 1 year. I'm gonna be on streets. I'm gonna be a slider, all this stuff. And then, in 2010 when you used to have to camp out and stuff, I got in line at like 9 p.m. Waited all night. All the old haunt vets will come up and like heckle us. All these like I'm talking about like we were brand new. I was by myself. Had like a cooler and a fucking like a chair, and I just fell asleep. And then
at least you did it right, dude.
Hey,
yeah,
I'm saying, yeah, I did the old school way. So like when I tell people we camp out, like my talent, they're like, you camped out? I'm like, yeah, like you can get heckled. But yeah, I remember like staying up for like 12, 14 hours and camping out in the cold, and the sun comes up and it was like super hot. It was like summertime, and remember them saying like all street auditions are closed. I had no idea what that meant. And then I went to a table and I met Taylor, who was like my first ever cast lead, and he goes, "Oh, you want to work on?" And I was like probably guest number like 98 out of like 3,000. And I was like, "Yeah, I want to." And then he goes, "All right, how's the mind ride sound?" And I was like, "Fuck it." Like I'm stoked to be here. Yeah. And
you worked in the mind ride your first year too.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Little did I know
the pain of working in a 3x3 box, bro.
Dude, you have no idea. I was in the.
Yes, I do.
I know you were in it, but
we all do.
That pot room, dude. I was in the pot room. I was stuck to a tether, and it was horrible. I mean, it was fun, but that's how kind of like people kind of started finding out who I was, and the story kind of takes itself on from there.
What year was that?
2010.
2010.
Damn, dude.
Yeah.
I was in that ride my first year. 20 years prior to that.
Oh, that's wild.
1990, dude.
Dude, that ride is fucking haunted. It's old. It's decrepit. It needs to go away. Like so many things. I swear to God.
It's kind of funny. Greg works this event. He's been doing it for years now, and he gets scared of shit like that still.
Yeah.
I got stories for you guys. I hate ghosts and shit like that. Like, absolutely hate. I hate anything paranormal or fucking like ghosty. Like, I know they're real, but I hate them. I'm like, leave me the fuck alone.
Yeah.
Only if it was that easy, right?
If only,
Yeah.
All right, so you do Mind Ride for the year for 2010. Okay.
Yeah.
And what happened the following year?
So Mind Ride, a weird incident happened where I guess like one of the cats hit a trigger on the track, right? And my cast lead at the time, Taylor, was like, "Hey, I need you to go out and be an exit monster. Go out, scare out there for like an hour." And I was like doing my thing, and he was like, "You're pretty good. Like, just kind of hang out in the exit, like run the little front street area in front of the queue, like just kind of do your thing." And then Craig at the time was like the head of Haunt, and so I remember him walking around. He used to watch me scare. And then the next year in auditions, he knew exactly who I was.
Nice.
Like off the rip. And I was already working there year round, and like as a game attendant.
He did his homework, dude. He did his homework.
Yeah, he knew who you were, like without the mask on. It was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And I literally went to the audition. It was him and Ian. And I remember first time ever meeting Ian, I was like, damn, this dude's a fucking like, he's a dude. You know what I mean? And I was scared shitless, and they asked me to be a werewolf, put my pants on fire. I'm talking about I hit the floor for like maybe a second, and then Craig was like, "All right, that's good. You're on streets." And I was like, "Okay." But he already knew. Like he already knew what I could do.
He wanted to put you there.
When he sees something, that intrigues him, he'll go and ask about you.
Yeah.
He'll do some digging to make sure he's got the right person that he's looking for.
Yeah, and I'm super grateful for like the opportunity, like Craig just finding out who I was, and then I got on Carnival in 2011, and then legit it just my haunt career took off, and I never thought I was gonna work more than like a season or two.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I think that it's the same for a lot of people though. Like I know when I did my first year, I didn't even think I was gonna go back. Like it was an accident that it was a monster. And then next year I was like, oh, I wonder if I can go back to that. And that's when I got streets. And then I just, you get hooked because you end up getting a family. You become a family with all these monsters. And then you meet a Scott, and then you're stuck with them for 30 plus years.
For real, dude.
So,
it's like meeting like a brotherhood. Like that's why I can always describe it to people. People are like, oh, why do you work on? Like it's like a fraternity that you cannot get out of. Yeah.
It is. And you know, we all have the same thought process in the sense of maybe a few seasons. Like I thought by the time I hit my 5th season, that was going to be it for me. You know, little did I know that's when it started turning and
started burning, right? Yeah, you remember when you had your blonde hair and shit back in the day.
Well, of course you do, because it's all over Season of Scream.
Oh, Season of Scream, yeah. Yoga and all that shit. I remember, yeah. I'm snowboarding for a living. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, who the fuck is this guy?
yeah, this fucking guy, right?
Yeah.
King snowboarder. He was such a snowboarder when I first met him. This fucking guy.
I still am, dude.
Oh, all right, yeah, you just went, yeah.
Yeah. I'm going again next week.
Nice.
Well, by the time this comes out, I've already been up and back.
You had gone a few times.
Gone and back.
Yeah. Yeah. Went to.
So okay, so 2011. Sorry, Jeremy.
No, go for it.
2011.
Give the man a chance, Scott.
Don't worry, I'm gonna get back to you. Just saying, 2011. What was different? Like besides moving the streets, what was different about that from working the queue line, and was Carnival the spot you wanted to go to, or is that just the spot they gave you?
No, and I don't think I've ever said this in a podcast or like anything or told anyone. The first spot I ever want to go to was camp. I always want to go to camp, and I saw that it was like the Gauntlet, and I didn't know what it was at the time. And I remember that was like the one zone that scared the shit out of me, and I was like, I want to go to the Gauntlet at the time, and I found that they didn't have any spots, so I was like, whatever. But in 2011, I think what clicked was like I met a group of friends, at these slider practices, and they were like my family, and a whole bunch of us, I'm talking about like 15, 16 of us, like the Carnival rookies who came to find out be like the vets of Haunt, years to come. We were all together. It was like all of our first years on streets. I wasn't alone. Like I knew people. And it just kind of like was like, all right, we're all in this together. Here we go. And we had the great guidance of like Big John was my cast lead the very first year, and found out who he was and the legend. And then Panhead was like our HC. Like it was crazy. It was like our this Super Bowl team of this all stars, and we had like Mike, like Bags, and we had it was like Dante, Reggie, like everybody was in there. Jason Casey. Was Boots and Boogie over there yet? Yeah, Boots and Boogie were there, but it was like before Boogie became Boogie, so it was like OG Boots, where he was just like reckless and was like sliding like Boots, crazy. And then you got OG Boogie before. Yeah, before he's Boogie, and like he was just like this weird cat. We had Sumo when he was still living. Like it was just this. Oh, we had Mark, we had Roman. It was just this crazy hodgepodge of these really, really talented individuals, and everyone kind of played with the story, and it made you fall in love with the story, and you're like, oh, I see what they're seeing. Oh, and then you kind of start seeing the park, start seeing what we're doing, and it started kind of like overshadowing Ghost Town, and start overshadowing camp a little bit, and it's like, all right, like something's going back in Carnival, and then it just kept ramping up from there.
Yeah. I remember Carnival back then. I was like, holy crap, these guys are sick. I always sit there and watch you guys for like an hour. I'm like, these guys are fucking dope.
Yeah, it was weird. Like even us as like talent, we'll be scared, and then like we stop and we see someone do something completely different, and we're like, fuck, like that was dope. How did you do that? And keep going. It's like, damn, like you're on our team. This is crazy.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
And it's cool too. It's cool to be over there because it's and it is very different from Ghost Town, because Ghost Town's very dark and ominous and shadowy and foggy. So it's kind of easy to scare people and pop out at people and do all that. Carnival's lit. Like you have to be very talented and to be able to get some dope scares.
You got to really think outside the box. Like you got to hide behind people, how to blend in with the crowd, how to like, they teach you how to have a character walk, but in Carnival you have to like walk normal, like walk upright, and like we'll figure out ways to like find the dark spots that there are there, but
the dark spots are behind groups of people.
Right.
Groups of people behind like the booths at the time, like the game booths that were all in the midway when they used to be there. Like we had Perilous Plunge there, so we kind of like would hide in like Perilous Plunge to like queue and run out and slide. Like we got really creative with a lot of different things.
Yeah. It forced that creativity because there wasn't a lot of dark pockets, like we were just saying.
100%.
It was so brightly lit that was a stark contrast to what Ghost Town was, because Ghost Town's really dark.
Yeah.
You know, not to mention you're a clown, so you need to have more visibility to show that look.
Yeah.
100%.
I mean, so
But we took at the time we kind of took the clown stuff as like more sinister. We weren't really funny, like how in today's Carnival kind of went back to what the original plan was. But when we were there, it was like we weren't funny, we weren't goofy, like we were in your face and we were to like light you up.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people could see the difference. Like Jeremy, for example, was like, you can see it just sitting there and it's like, this isn't a normal clown zone.
Right.
yeah, there is definitely a difference between back then when you were there and to what it is now.
Yeah, 100%. It's day and night. Like it's super day and night. That's why I give the kids now such a hard time, because I'm like, you guys are so like focused on the funny. Like, where's the angry? Where's the pissed off? Like, you guys are dead or demented clowns. Like, what the fuck are you guys doing?
The one thing I do like about what they did this past year, a lot of the characters, and a lot of them were from Dark Harbor, is they developed a very characteristic approach to their scaring. With their props and and yes, a lot of them were comical, but it was they had to develop a character. Not that you guys didn't, don't get me wrong, but it was a different way of developing a character, and I thought that was pretty interesting and a good contrast compared to what you guys were doing back in 2010. So, yeah. So how many?
100%. Yeah, dude. Yeah.
The last 2 years, 2019. Well, last 2 years that were open, 2019, and this last season, Carnival was my favorite street zone.
Oh, word. Okay.
Yeah, like 2019 when I went through, I sat there the first night or the only night that I went, I spent about 2 hours in there, just posted up watching people. And then this year too, between the 3 nights that I went to visit, it was the same thing. I sat there and posted up, and probably I spent over those 3 nights, a good 4 hours total in that zone. I mean, maybe subconsciously it's because I was watching my guys there too, making sure they weren't screwing up. They were doing their job, and but at the same time, the other people that are there that weren't my people from Dark Harbor, they were killing it.
I'll say this: when your guys' team from Dark Harbor came through, like the second, third week, you could see like the change. Like, it was instant change, legit.
Yeah.
So, like, me walking around, I was like, all right, do my maze is good. I'll walk back there and check things out. It was like, as soon as the Dark Harbor crew came over, you could see like it kind of pushed people like, all right, let me step my game up for sure. But for me personally, Goring 20s was like the coolest thing I've ever seen in my.
I love that zone.
It was so cool to
That's
watch.
what I
sit
heard.
there and watch. It was
so much potential too.
It was so intricate. Like, it was the coolest thing ever. And then just like talking to John and him showing me like this, like the music and the acts and stuff. I was like, man, this is really thought through.
Yeah,
That's cool.
It's only going to get better. I can't wait to see.
Oh, 100%. It needs to be in a bigger zone, but then at the same time, it's like it kind of fits where it's at.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think so too, because it's a tighter knit group. It's a smaller number of people.
Yeah.
So it's like a small town.
Did they?
Yeah, exactly.
Did they do a lot of decorating in that area? Because it didn't seem.
Yeah, there was a ton. They had like little shops, and like little like stands. Yeah, and they had like fog, what do they call it? Fog machines, like hidden in like boxes. I was like, fog juice. I was like, fog machines, like hidden in like these boxes that the characters can lean on, like sell papers and stuff like that. And I thought it was cool. My character was in it, so I thought it was super sick to like full circle, no longer being a talent, like seeing my old character that people knew I played in that zone. It was like sick to see. Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah.
So okay, when you were in Carnival, obviously you were a clown, and that's okay. I want to ask you, because we're already there. How did the name Seaweed come about?
So, if you didn't know, if you're watching this, I used to be a dancer at Disneyland for like 3 years. I did special events and commercials and everything for the resort. At the time, I was dating a white chick, who I'm still cool with. And when I go to the slider rink, she would come with me. And one night we were sliding, we were just kind of practicing tricks, and Mike came up to me and he goes, "Hey, do you have a haunt name?" I go, "Nah, I don't." I was like, "I've only worked Mine Ride." And he goes, "Well, I'm gonna name you Seaweed." And I was like, "Seaweed?" He goes, "From the musical Hairspray, that fits you." And I was like, "Oh." I kind of like it because at the same time, like like Dante and Reggie like named Bacteria and Kraken. And I was like, I do not want to be named anything off my race. And and I was like, all right, cool. And it kind of flowed, and it was such a low key name, and it just kind of sticks to my personality. And if you know me, yeah.
I
and if
know
you know me,
it doesn't
like,
suit you.
It fits my personality, I think, for sure. And I know I like musicals, and that's one of my favorite musicals. So I was like, all right, cool.
Nice.
Right on.
I had no idea your nickname was Seaweed.
Yeah.
No idea.
Dude, I'm sorry, man. That name does not suit you.
It's all good. It's all good. It's not for everybody.
It's
not for everybody. It's all good.
Oh, man.
So how many years did you do Carnival?
So I did Carnival for 11, 12, 13, 4 years.
So 2015 was your first year in Ghost Town?
Yeah, it was.
Oh, dope.
Was it?
Okay.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
I thought it was 14 that you came.
Nah, it was 15. Yeah, it was 15 because 15, 16, 17, cast lead, 18. No. Yeah, cast lead 18, 19, break for COVID, 21. Yeah.
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 Okay. Yeah. All that shit gets run together too.
Yeah. I was like, damn. Yeah, but yeah, 15 was my first year in Ghost Town. And when I went to Ghost Town, it was like everyone was like, what the fuck? Like it was like a microphone drop. And I thought it was kind of cool. Because everyone knew me as a clown. And then I remember going to auditions and it was like Pasta, Brooke Walters when she was still there, Roman, like you. And I remember the Pasta was sitting there and you guys were all sitting across the table when we still did the group auditions, and they said, hey, like, all right, give me your clown. And I was like, I don't want to go back to Carnival. And I remember your head snapped up like, what? And you're like, what? And everyone was like, what? And everyone kind of started scribbling like, what's happening. And then I kind of did like a little character that I kind of based off of Bobby. And then next thing I know, a week later, I was told I was going to Ghost Town.
It didn't even matter at that point, though.
Yeah.
For me, it didn't even matter when you said, I don't want to go back to Carnival. And once I knew you wanted to come to Ghost Town, I already thought in my head, I don't care what he brings to the table here, I'm going to take him.
Yeah.
Because I already knew what you were capable of.
So what was your thought process like? Did you just said, I'm just kind of over the clown thing and want something different?
I think that was a part of it. I think also the haunt fan in me was like, I'm going to keep doing this event. I want to go somewhere where I feel like this is haunt. I'm tired of being funny. I'm tired of being in the light. Like, I want to be like a monster. Like, I want to be a fucking like monster. And I was like, let me go to Ghost Town where the OG like event happened, where it happened and started in the 80s. And so I was like, all right, let's start this thing. And, if I get it, I get it. If not, I'm back in Carnival, which whatever. But, thankfully Scott took me. But I think at that time, me working on, I made a big enough name for myself where like you knew what I was going to bring.
Yeah.
Well,
that's the thing too. It's like during those times when I was lead, I wasn't just running Ghost Town. I was looking at other areas too.
Yeah.
To see who's got what going on and then kind of keep that in my brain for the next year.
I think back then, that's when it was like low key, like haunt was like a draft. Like low key haunt was kind of like an NFL draft.
Yeah. Instead of draft kings, draft ghouls.
It was legit because like I think that year it was only like me and Eric. Glow came over for the first time and like everyone lost their shit because she came back. Naomi came back. Well, she was in Fiesta and she got pulled in. It was like only like 6 of us that were brand new to Ghost Town.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like everyone was like, wait, like you can go to Ghost Town? And then it started this like wildfire of like, oh, well, if they're going to Ghost Town, I want to go to Ghost Town. And then boom, that first year, the movie happened. And then it blew up. Ghost Town blew up again. Because at first it was like the retirement home. This is where everyone's coming to retire. That's when like Paul and Bobby and Gary were all there. And then they Jeremy and, they retired. And then 15 happened. And then boom, like the film happened. And then Decay was blowing up at that point. And it was just like a wildfire of everyone going, oh, I want to go to Ghost Town. I need to go back. And
Yeah, because
so that was 2015.
Yeah.
When you came over.
So when they said you were going to go to Ghost Town, and so you mentioned you wanted to, look like Bobby, I guess you would say, or continue. Why Alex's character? What made you want to pay homage to that?
Yeah, I think I remember going as a guest like in high school and seeing the slider shows, and Bobby was always, there was two characters that stuck out to me. It was Bobby and it was Pigeon, and those two guys like just always stuck out in my head. And I know I'm not a tall guy; I'm like 5'9", and Bobby and me kind of have the same stature, but I knew I wanted to bring like my flair into it, my style, but keep his like aggression. And I used to watch him, like he took shots in holes, like he wasn't afraid to go up to the biggest guy in the room on streets and like punk him, like move him out his way.
He was a beast.
He was a beast.
He was a beast.
Me and him got really close by doing Decay Brigade, and like he was like literally someone I looked up to. I still do. Yeah. And he just ran the show, and I was like, I always wanted to scare like that.
Yeah,
Alex was amazing.
Yeah, when Alex and Jeff came from Camp Snoopy to Ghost Town, we were like, fuck yes, like
I was pretty jazzed when
and
they
that
came
first
over.
year I was like, dude, these guys are monsters. These guys are legit. And Alex was a fucking great monster.
Yeah,
he was incredible. I mean, shit. I mean, he had so much bounce to his step. Like it was crazy to watch him scare.
Yeah. And what's funny is about him is like when he was in the Gauntlet, he had more clown style type stuff, right? And as he came over after he moved out of the clown phase, his character actually started developing more into a Ghost Town staple character in the sense of more cowboy style, his look, his characteristics, his mannerisms, all of that.
The cool thing is that he really he started that revolution of the whole kind of jester pants. That was his thing. He came and because I remember talking to him about that. And I'm like, how come you're not wearing jeans or anything? You're not doing the full cowboy thing. And he's like, it's more comfortable. He's like, I can move faster, and I'm like, that's cool. Do your thing. And then like several people after that were doing it. I know Jeff did it for a little bit until he changed his character to the whole clown whatever he did in Ghost Town. But
yeah, that's how I got my pants from. I got my pants from learning that from Bobby. He taught me like how to cut them one day. And I remember, Scott, you got mad at me. You're like, you need fucking scare cloth on your legs. You need scare cloth. I was like, dude,
because he looked great. He looked great from the top of his knee pads to the top of his head,
right?
And everything on the bottom was black. I'm like, dude, that looks terrible. Mix it up.
Yeah, but I got that. If you look at Alex's like lower half and my lower half, they're identical. That's suspenders.
And that's essentially is what confused me because again, me going back, I didn't see Alex for a while, any of them for a while, and so I was just like, I just got excited. I just glanced. I'm like, dude, that's rad. Alex is back.
Yeah.
For me, the big part that for that actual character though, Greg, when you took it over, I know you had his prosthetic, but for me, the one thing I really liked about it is when you took it over, your spin was, okay, I'm not going to be a cowboy. You're going to be like a newsboy.
Newsie. Yeah.
And that was way more fitting for you. Even with that face, but that look and everything, it just worked better with your mannerisms.
Well, the crazy thing is with that face, I never asked to be in makeup. When I auditioned, I thought I was gonna be in a mask. I was like, planning on going like to Lubati and West Cucamonga until I went for my fitting. And it's when now they don't do it anymore, but they used to put like the prosthetic at the time, like they're like, oh, this looks good on you, and they put it on you, and it's like, all right, it fits. It's like takes half a second. And I remember Denise, not Paxton, but Chavez, at the time was looking through the box, and she's like, oh, Ghost Town. And she was like, Cowboy Bobby. And she instantly was like, I know exactly what face I'm giving you. And she went to another box, pulled out the Vesuvius face, and she was like, how does this feel? She didn't put it on me. She was like, how do you feel about this? And I was like, let's do it. And I messaged Alex like the next morning. I was like, dude, I got your face. Blah, blah. He's like, you're the perfect fit for it. Yeah. And he's like, it was like a total pass the torch moment.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean that newsie. Funny enough, you say that newsie was like kind of my style. I was going for in Boardwalk, but I knew when I go to Ghost, I could really hone it in and like go what I was going for
because it fits the town.
Yeah, it does.
You're from the post office type of thing.
Mm-hmm. Like legit. Like if you look at like a Bronx newspaper boy at the time on that Western East, but now the East side, not the Western. Yeah. My character was pretty much identical.
Yeah. Funny story about Alex's prosthetic. You got his prosthetic before he got life casted for that. Guess what prosthetic he wore before that?
He wore yours, didn't he? Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, he wore
Jeremy.
yours.
Jeremy
Yeah.
sculpted that one.
Yeah.
Oh
It was
shit!
my second gen pyro face, and I go, bro. The first time I said, I'm like, dude, you're wearing my face. He's like, what? I go, yeah.
Yeah, I remember he wore yours, and then he wore Gary's for like a season, and then Gary took it back, and then he got that Dusty. I mean, this is Vesuvius, but I remember that face Dusty wearing it when he did like Deputy May. Yeah, he did Deputy Mayhem, and he would wear the face I used to wear. Yeah,
Yeah. So it's that face is kind of moved around a little bit.
a little bit. Now Chopper has it. His old ass. He's rocking it.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's rocking it.
Good old Chopper, dude.
It's funny seeing like our faces. I'm a very slender face. He has a very big face.
Yeah.
And he looks like every time I see him, I love him, and I crack up because I'm like, he looks like a Muppet. Like because the chin fits him like here, like the lips fit him up here, and it's just like no.
But he rocks what's up, Muppet?
but he rocks it. We were calling him Wade Gordon this year because he kept his face for like 3 weeks straight was like a bright green, like a bright green, and you cannot miss it. And me and Josh Mickelson were like, "Yo, Wade, how you doing?" And
Dude, that's funny.
At first, he didn't hear us, and then when he heard it, he was like, "That's funny." Like he got cracking up.
Josh Nicholson came back.
Yeah.
Oh.
He was a cast lead
Oh,
for
nice.
Carnival. He's been back for a few years now.
Oh, dope.
Yeah, now he's a project specialist for Knott underneath the VP of Entertainment.
Yeah, year round.
Mm-hmm.
Good for him.
Yeah. Okay, so how many years did you do Ghost Town again?
3. Yeah, 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you first moved to Ghost Town from Carnival, did you have a hard time adjusting to the environment? Because a lot of people have that issue.
Oh yeah. Oh dude. Oh, instantly. I was like a rookie all over again.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's when we kind of started rehearsal nights. That was that 2015 year.
Mm-hmm.
When we just started there like brand new. And I remember Mike at the time, and he's like my close homie. So he took me and Eric around, and he like showed us like the sliding spots and like showed us how the floor is different. But I remember opening night, I was moving way too fast, and I like was moving like if I was still in Carnival, and I'm doing things I was still in Carnival. I realized I was like, I have this giant playground of darkness and fog, and I got to really slow down.
Yeah.
But I realized of how to like tweak it where I could be fast and slow at the same time.
Right.
Yeah.
But see, so you didn't have that fear. It's like, dude, I don't know what I'm doing. Like you felt lost, and you just kind of just.
It's like riding a bike. Yeah, it's like riding a bike. Once you're in it, I think the hardest thing was just finding these spots, because like it's one thing of being shown how this is good. You know, Fog Alley's really good to slide at, and Ghost Rider X's really good to slide at, and then you get to the main gate, and that's like super slick.
Yeah.
Then you have a million different people moving every single way instead of where on being inside Ghost Town, and you guys have seen it, where the crowd's gonna go a certain way
Mm-hmm.
and how they're gonna move. But when you get to the main gate, everyone's moving in a circle, and it's the hardest thing of finding this orb, and you gotta slide through the middle of the orb.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah. It's crazy.
that's the hardest. That's the easiest way I can just describe it. Is like it's literally an orb of people. If people, when my talent will ask me like, "What's it like being on streets?" I'm like, imagine having a crowd around you, and like you got to figure out how to get out.
Yep. It's like being in quote unquote prison.
Really, honestly, like it's a hockey fight. I was like, somehow it's a fight. Like you got to lower. I was like, yeah, take your shoulders. You got to lower your shoulder and get through some. Like sometimes you got to kick people's shins. You got to throw an elbow to. You don't get hit, but it's kind of part of the game, you know.
It's also you have to watch out for the other monsters because you're essentially across from each other a lot, and in the main gate especially. I learned that pretty quick. When I was working there, like normally, we ran main gate a lot, but it was different when I did it in 2015 because it was a core group of guys that did it. All you guys, and when James invited me to come be a part of it, I was just like, holy shit! Like, because you guys were so different from when we used to do it. A lot of times we would always look out for each other, but we would essentially go the same direction. And you guys were all, fucking
Hodgepodge.
scattered.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, fuck, I gotta watch out. I don't have to
really
just,
watch,
you
yeah.
gotta watch everything. And it was a huge wake up call for me, but it was fun. I had a blast, and that's where all my energy went. Every night.
Every night. You do like a good hour and a half, and it's like, all right, go get water, and like you're on break for an hour.
Yep.
But
After
one thing with main gate, I would tell people. Sorry to cut you off.
no,
but,
that's fine.
It's like it's such an honor to be up there, and talent aren't up there anymore. But it used to be like you've seen it, Jeremy and like Scott. It's such an honor to be scaring up there.
Yeah.
Because there's so much history, and it's a one of a kind experience.
I used to make up a list of people that could be up there each night.
Yeah.
When I was over there, you know, it's like, because everybody would want to go up there. It's like, these are the people that are approved to be up there tonight. You know, your night will come later, type of thing. You know.
Yeah.
So okay, now another thing too is, since you go to Carnival and it's all bright, visibility is great. You come to Ghost Town. How long did it take you to adjust to low visibility with the fog and the darkness?
I think probably about 2 weeks. Cause I was wearing contacts now, and then the fog starts to burn your eyes, and you know, you start seeing. It's harder to see other talent because like everyone kind of starts blending in.
Yeah.
And then you start to kind of realize you start seeing people's movements are different. And then you're all soon. It's like a movie. It's like all of a sudden you get night vision, and then you can see totally normal again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what we were saying.
Exactly it. Yeah. So basically, you felt like some of your senses were heightened, like Spider-Man, basically.
Yeah.
After you got into a groove.
Oh, at first I was legit. I was like running into like fog boxes and running into walls, and like I couldn't figure out where I was, and I was like scared. I'm like hit somebody. I'm like, oh shit.
There's seriously times especially Fog Alley, you're going like this. Like you're like walking and trying to like use your hands to make sure you're not hitting the wall or hitting another wall. I've ran into so many freaking people in that Fog Alley. It can get pretty fucking bad.
See, I got to do that now as a guest. I got to kind of feel my way through Fog Alley.
Yeah.
When I worked there, I just walked because I knew where I was going. You know, you could hear people's footsteps and know where they're at. You just go around them. It's not like that anymore.
Yeah.
Oh no, not at all.
Now it's like, fuck, I'm blind.
I'll say this is funny. Like I went to go scare this year for one night, and when I was in Fog Alley, and shows you the difference between generations. Like when I was in Ghost Town from 15 to 17, Fog Alley, everyone was in it still. Now there's nobody in it. People were like when I went out to scare, people were looking at me like I was weird scaring in there. Like other talent, like why are you scaring them? Like why are you not?
Yeah.
The thing is that I think people don't understand that the fog helps. It's like a cover. It's not something to be afraid of. They just have to get adjusted to it.
Yeah,
100%. It takes some time, yeah. So, but I'm surprised that people that have been there for years don't work Fog Alley. Sliders I understand because the ground's not good. You know, so I get that. But at the same time, I mean, it's
kind of
put it this way. It's not like it used to be.
True. That shit was fast.
Yeah, when it was a slurry coat asphalt, that shit was
Fog Alley,
lightning.
And especially when all the fog has hit it throughout the night, like that shit gets slick. But
the moisture,
the moisture, But
that shit gets wet.
Fog Alley, back in our days, Fog Alley and the porch were like the two main spots to
the geode shop,
and then
too.
geode shop,
Yeah.
So
I'm gonna date myself here, Greg. You're gonna laugh at this. So when I started and Jeremy started, you walk down Schoolhouse Road. The knife shop was out next to the candy shop. Okay.
Oh shit. Okay.
And there was a big ass tree there, and that's Jeremy's favorite tree.
Yep. I gotta go carve my initials in that.
His initiation was that. Dude, we duct taped into that tree upside down by his ankles, from his waist to his ankles.
With my pants down to my ankle. Well, actually, my pants down to my knees because they couldn't take off my pants.
So we walk a little bit further. I know. We walk a little bit further, and then on the corner of the saloon, there was another big tree. So right there, that's where myself, Wade, Scate, Bobby, a couple other guys would post up right there, and Stubler, and we'd slide across the square to nail people coming in from the other side and off the railroad tracks.
That's a long slide too.
Yeah, and it was three directions because you come around from
this way,
Market Street, the railroad tracks, and coming in from Fiesta side. So it's three sections. So we could to potentially hit 3 spots. So
But
that
it was-
was when the ground was super slick.
Yeah, but it was perfect because the guests don't expect it.
Yeah.
You know, so those spots were just the shit. That's the reason why the tunnel was such a great spot. People don't expect to get scared there.
Oh yeah.
So when they were able to scare that, I don't think they can anymore. You know,
No, it's so wild to see like old school. I mean, even when I was in 2015, we saw that very smooth floor before they redesigned it in 2016, and the square was the square was so much fun to scare.
Mhm.
Like it was like old school haunt. Like it sounds weird. Like even talking to my talent now, like when I was like cast lead and telling them stories like that's real because now the square is completely different.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
The stage was even right there.
Yeah, the stage was still there. Yeah, the stage was still there. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's what we loved about it because that was basically the epicenter of the park during haunt.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You know, and we loved it. That's why we hit that spot. So that was okay. Your last year is 2015. You know, that's about the time. When did you? I want to throw your brigade stuff in there too a little bit. That was about the time when you hopped on the team there too, right?
No, I'm an OG from the team.
So what year was that?
I was on the team when it started 2012.
Oh, okay.
So I was on the team when I saw you guys had Chase on here.
I remember now.
Yeah, I was on Scream. I was on the Scream team before Decay was like Decay.
Yeah.
Like I was an OG member. I remember
That's
Gary
when
hit
you
me
guys
up.
had all these different people, characters, and did that slide at Scare LA, right?
Yeah, we did. We had that. Remember, we had that vinyl floor, that white vinyl floor, and everyone was like, "What the fuck is this?" And we're like, "We just figured it out and put it down, and it was like ice." Yeah. So I did Decade, and I've been on the team ever since we started it. Before it was Decade.
Dude, you're old.
So you're
old.
still doing it.
Yeah, I'm still on the team. I'm more of like the MC now. Like
Okay.
I'm definitely more the hype man. I can't hit the floor like I used to, but I'm definitely the hype man, and you can see it. Like people know me as like, oh, he's the one with the microphone. So I'm like, dude, cool, I'll take it.
The last midsummer that Jeremy and I went to, we talked to you, and he's like, yeah, dude, I'm doing the MC stuff now.
Yeah,
Remember, Jeremy?
It works. I think you're great at it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it works,
Appreciate
man.
Because he got a big mouth.
No, because I can just fucking talk. I've been in the entertainment my whole life. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, what's up, guys? Hey.
Yeah. Okay, so
The
he
Flavor
goes through
Flav
that.
for the Decay Brigade.
Basically.
Oh,
I throw a little Cajun seasoning on it.
There you go.
I don't let it be no salt and pepper on it.
Sorry,
so
Scott.
here's another thing too, like that really helped push us, and too, because we brought you in for that. Was Jeremy? He was one of the brigade guys that was in the first Sliders Unite show.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
The thing I didn't get invited to. Yeah.
that's fucking.
There's a little animosity there. I feel like. I mean,
That's right. Scott didn't want me to pop my knee again, so I appreciate that.
Yeah, he was so broken at that
was
time,
so
dude. It wasn't even funny.
Dude,
I was.
I remember that. That was an insane night. That was a crazy night, dude. Even like the drama leading up to it, the rehearsal process was like a mess, and then that night, it was a Wednesday.
But the fact is, we rehearsed for 2 nights, 3 hours a night, and we stuck that show.
Yeah,
we stuck
it. Was sick. Yeah, it was sick. Yeah.
Yeah, Wednesday night, and we sold it out.
Yeah.
Remember we practiced on like Monday and Tuesday at like 6 to 9, and then Wednesday was like, all right, it's showtime. I remember taking off work. I was like, all right, I was so jacked, but I remember sitting there and, dude, everyone and their mama came that night, sold out the event on a Wednesday, and you could see it was only for the Slider show.
Yeah.
And it was people were on top of people on top of props, literally talent coming out of their mazes at Queen Mary just to watch what was unfolding.
That's so cool. That's really cool.
Yeah, it was crazy.
We had David Wally was there watching both shows, and the staff there, and then Ian and Pasta were there, and they came to see that. So it was really cool to see that. But dude, that was like, I said this before, is like that's still one of the highlights of my career, that I was able to help spearhead that thing, to help it bring it to fruition, because it really put an impact on the community, on the Slider community, as you see now. There isn't as much animosity now as there was before we did that show.
Oh yeah, 100%. It's like the bridge is definitely broken.
Yeah. The only downside is about that show, we didn't have any Magic Mountain people in there because we didn't know anybody over there that year.
Yeah.
I think at that time, no one Magic Mountain wasn't as big as it is now.
No, but they had some core people. We just didn't have any contacts over there.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You know, because we had everybody else.
Yeah, now I know the twins and stuff like Matt and his brother Nate. Like they're dope as hell guys. Love those guys.
Those guys are
dope.
Yeah,
love those guys.
Their show was sick this year, dude.
Their show was impressive. I can't wait to see what they do next year. I only saw it on YouTube, but for what it had a lot. It had a lot of production value. I was like, damn, this is impressive.
Yeah. They did. They put in a lot of work for that. A lot of work for that.
Yeah, definitely going this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to go just to see that. I'm like, all right, I'll go out there I'll drive the 2-hour drive to see these boys.
Yeah.
Dude, I went there 3 times, and between all 3 times, I went through one maze.
Oh, damn.
Because, well, one the park is really spread out, right? Like, I got invited for media night, and I was stoked on that. But that was the night I went through one maze. Other than that, I cruised around a little bit, watched some of the talent. But most of the time, I posted up in DC Universe to watch them work.
Oh, yeah. They're sick out there. They have like a whole thing out there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That DC Universe stuff is dope, yeah.
Yeah, and they were this last year, the only attraction there because there was construction. So it was basically just a street, and that was it.
Oh, that's sick.
They annihilated it.
That's cool.
You know, yeah.
They were dope, yeah.
Yeah. So, okay, now I wanted to touch on that because, I mean, that was a big point, and I think for you too, as it was for me doing that show. So now you go back, 2017, that was your last year's talent.
Yeah.
Right? And then let's talk about your transition into management. You know, how hard was it? Easy was it for you? You know, what was because you and I talked about it. I was very, very transparent with you about what I thought.
Yeah.
And, you know, we talked about it. So how do you feel it went like your first year? I can tell you how I thought it went. I already told you, I thought you did amazing.
Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate it. You know, I think that transition year, you know, I remember being on streets, I could feel my back really tightening up and like dancing and, you know, doing stunts on the side and everything really started coming in my body. I was like, I gotta stop. Like you just gotta listen. Because like, I just had to stop. And, you know, doing it since I was 18 at the time, you know, I was like, all right, fuck it. So, you know, when I found out I got, you know, I was going to become a manager, I was like, sweet. But at the same time, I was like, fuck, what am I doing? And I found out I was doing Infected, and I was like, this is perfect for me. Like, you know, and then John Aspirin and me got really close, and Cody Howell, who was like my 1 to my 2, my yin and yang. These guys showed me like how to basically become a manager and like in and out, how to like diffuse situations, how to like learn things, you know. And I already had like that entertainment experience, like an hospitality experience, stuff like that. But, you know, the good thing was Cody knew the production side of it, like the lights and all that stuff. I knew the talent side of it. And so it kind of meshed and it created what 2017 was. You know what I mean?
That was a big year for.
I mean, sorry, 2018. It was 2018. I appreciate it. 2018. What 2018 was, and that was huge for Infected because the year before that it was shit. Like it was horrible, and it was super bad. I remember seeing Go Now, I was like, this is a terrible maze. Yeah. And then I remember going inside and I told Cody and John, I was like, all right, look, I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but I was like, if I'm gonna be in here, I'm gonna be in here. Like I'm not gonna let this shit fail. Yeah. And they're like, we're gonna be
all up in it.
Then they were like, we just want to see you do a good job. That's why we put you here. And I mean, I feel like I was a catalyst to a lot of changing. I was the first talent in a long time to become a manager. So when I gave up my pads, people kind of looked at me like, "Are you serious?" Because they know I'm super energetic, and I was like, "Yeah, it's time for me to put it down." I think I
was the last one before you in 2014 that I transitioned.
Yeah.
So yeah, actually, no, I transitioned in 2010.
So yeah, and so it was cool. It was dope, and you know, 2018 went really well. 2019 won Maze of the Year, and then this year
2018 was a big year for you. I remember going through there, and I wasn't expecting much. And I go through, I'm like, fuck, they're killing it.
Yeah, you know? People. I remember. I mean, thank you again because people in 2018 literally were coming up to me. They're like, "Yo, this is different. Like this." They're like, "We know it's the same maze, but it's different."
Yeah.
And then 19, it was just the same thing all over again. New cast, new crew.
You still had Paulina in there though.
I still had Paulina. I saw a few squad leaders like Pops. I got a big. I know I'm on this podcast. So I gotta give a big shout out to Pops. Jim Pierce. Like that's my road dog. Like I will love that guy until the day I die. And you know he's he's older, but he's sure as hell young at heart. And even this year, he's rocking me since 2018, 19, and 21. And this year he was a cast lead with me, but he was in Dark Entities behind me. And I got to show him a lot of things I did at Infected, and he killed it. And he's gonna keep doing what he's doing. And that's one person I can say on here, like, he's literally a game changer. So y'all better watch out for Pops. But
Nice.
but yeah, dude. But being in management, I love it. I love giving up what I used to do, and I still miss it. Opening night still hits my heart and stuff like that. But yeah, dude, it's definitely one of those. If you love working haunt and you want to better your career outside of haunt, I'll say for sure become like a manager.
Yeah. I mean, you get that adrenaline rush no matter what.
Oh yeah.
I mean, but at the same time, I know what you're saying. It's like, fuck, dude, I feel like I should be suited up and ready to scare the shit out of people, not overseeing people scaring the shit out of people.
Yeah.
But
you know what I mean?
But it's good though, because now you're taking that talent, that raw talent that you guys had, and you're now nurturing potential future. You're molding them, and that's the reason why. Like, that's why Infected ended up becoming dope, and that's why Ghost Town was so dope when Scott was doing it, and then same thing. I mean, as a prime. Sorry, my kids are like screaming bloody murder.
No, you're good.
But
Can't even hear it.
I know, prime example, like, Dark Harbor, Scott molded all those Dark Harbor people, and then they come to Carnival and they fucking kill it. They bring the Dark Harbor style into Carnival, and Carnival ended up becoming, Zone of the Year from what I think last year.
Yeah.
I mean,
by
it's
like
a prime example.
They beat out Goring 20s by like a point.
Yeah, so it's
by
like
a single point. Yeah.
That's an example of the perks of having talented monsters turn into leads in management, because they can mold. And so I think it's
great.
great
For sure. Like Carnival, I mean, Josh was overseeing Carnival, and he brought his old school style from camp days, from Gauntlet days to Carnival's light too. And a lot of these kids listen to Josh because he already looks mean, but he sure as hell has a great direction as well.
He knows his shit. Josh knows his shit.
100%. Yeah, 100%.
I mean, when I heard he was going to take over Carnival, I was like, oh, dude, it's going to be good. Oh
yeah, he had it by the fucking horns, and he killed it.
Nice.
Him and Ashley. Yeah,
that's cool.
So that's great. So this year, or I'm sorry, this last season, because we're in 2022, you're in Paranormal. You close down now. Okay, you close down Infected.
Yeah.
And now you go to Paranormal. You close down Paranormal. So tell us a little bit about your experience with that, because I know that was it was a big year for you there too.
Yeah, it was huge. 2000. So get this. So 2018, people thought that was a fluke that I did so well. A lot of people were like, "Yo, that's a fluke. That's a fluke." 19, when I won Maze of the Year, people were like, "Oh fuck." This year, I had this huge target on my back for fucking Paranormal, and when I found out I was doing Paranormal, my first thought was, "Holy shit." My second thought was, "It's fucking Ghost. Great." And I remember
face your
at the
fears.
time, I was like, "Fuck!" But so my whole maze, except for like 4 people, were all rookies, all brand new to the event. People from Hayride, people from Queen Mary, people from Disneyland, people from Universal Studios. So I had a hodgepodge of all these places in one, and I was like, "All right, cool, let's figure this out." But I knew Paranormal was going like to the wayside. Like I could see it in 2019. It just didn't have that bounce. Like it didn't have that hit.
Yeah, it started to run its course.
It started to run its course, and I was like, "Nah, it's the last year. Like, nah, we got to do this right." Like,
let's go with a fucking bang.
So we took a 7-hour scare school with these. I think no, not 7 hours, 6 hour. 6 hour scare school with these kids, and I gave them everything I knew about old school haunt. Everything. I let them know about, how to peek-ins. I let them know about streets. I let them know about the guy who just passed away. What's his name? The guy with the glasses. Gary Salisbury. Let them know about Craig. Let them know about Ian. Like, show them what I knew and how to scare and how not to hold a wall. I was like, don't touch. My biggest thing was like, don't touch a wall. If you guys touch a wall, I'm gonna like slap the fuck out of you. Like, just don't touch a wall. And I think the biggest thing is like John and Brandon and Pasta knew, like they knew what I could bring to the table.
Yeah.
And they were like, all right, like you already won Maze of the Year. This guy knows what he's doing. We got it. So they let me just take it. And at first they were hesitant. The talent were really hesitant. And then after I started like getting into it with them, showing them like how to scare and how to jump on tables and how to use their props, use their room, you could see the light bulb just snap. And they were like, oh, I see what you're talking about. And I'm sitting in the corner of the room, like telling them telling them in their ear, I'm like, shoot now, shoot here. I'm like, what do you mean? Like shoot? I was like, no, shoot through that gap. And so these talents are really shooting through, imagine this. They're shooting through the line and you go through, I mean, no offense to Mesmer or anything, talent aren't shooting through you. They're shooting at you and going back to reset. These talent and paranormal was shooting through you, like literally doing what we do on streets. And I think that translated so well. And people really, I think a part of it was like, they knew it was the last year. These kids are full of energy. They're all rookies to the haunt. And I think at the same time, me as a manager, I had to give them the same energy back. And I mean, my assistant, Ethan, he's a great guy. He was like a little mini me. And he took so much off my plate so I could really focus on the talent.
Yeah.
So,
nice.
And, come to find out, we won Maze of the Year again. And I don't know if you guys have me on Instagram, but if you guys click on my Instagram, my talent, it meant so much to them. And,
dude, I heard the next morning that you got Maze of the Year after it was announced.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And I was like, fuck yeah.
Yeah. So it was cool.
Good.
Yeah. It was cool to go back to back. And, I'm not returning to haunt anymore. And it was like my retirement season.
That was it for you?
That was my wrap.
Really?
I just want to be a fan. I just want to go back and be a fan. I think of this a lot of, I think it's just time. You know what I mean? It's just one of those like, now it's time to focus on me, focus on just going to other events and just enjoying the season. You know what I mean? I think COVID, it kind of ignited that. I wasn't going to come back this year, but last year, but something said just do it. And, I'm very content with leaving and putting literally, like I told Jim Pops, I told him, hey, the keys to the car are on your hands now. Like, you got it. And I'm more than happy to leave that man with everything I've done.
That's good. It's good that you went back. You don't want to let COVID, make your decision for you.
Yeah. 100%. I feel like it was like one thing, and I'll say this on this podcast. You don't need to win Monster of the Year. You don't need to win Rookie of the Year, Starter of the Year. I never won any of that. Yeah. But as long as you work your ass off and like do what you got to do and you grind and you have that grit, shit, people are gonna know who you are. So yeah,
that's exactly it. I never won any of that either.
Yeah.
For the big part of my, all of Jeremy's career and a huge part of my career, we never even had awards. We did, at the end of the year banquets, but it was like, oh, we're going to go like Ghost Town was like, we're just going to go get breakfast.
Yeah.
Oh, that's dope. Yeah.
And get a place rented out that'll stay open late enough for us. Because at the time, George Casewood, he was in the restaurant industry, God rest his soul. So he would set up a place for us like, okay, this is where we're going, guys.
Until we started getting kicked out of them all.
Yeah.
And not ask
you got people like, you don't know this guy, Greg, but this guy's name is Mikey Robles. And one time he goes, we were at, I think it was Country Harvest Buffet or something. He goes, watch this, you guys. He goes over to the buffet and he's hiding his back and he's putting some in his hand, right? Goes in the bathroom. He's in there for about 5 minutes. Like, what the fuck's he doing? He comes out. He's like, hey, where's the manager? Screaming, where's the manager? Manager comes up and he looks at the manager and puts his hand up. It's got chocolate pudding all over it. And he says, you're out of toilet paper.
Oh, what a dick. What a dick.
Yeah.
Horrible.
That's no worse than Brent Asplin freaking walking around with chocolate pudding in the diaper.
Yeah,
on Ghost
eating
Town.
it on streets.
And he would eat it, and he would offer it to the guests.
Oh, dude,
Brent.
Cliff. I got one better than that. Cliff used to throw up in his hand and eat it back up, dude.
God.
And like, I don't know if you guys remember Trapped. Like Trapped had that whole room.
Yeah.
What that guy did, they had a whole chocolate pudding fat guy in a diaper eating in front of you. And the walls would come closer. Yeah, dude. Oh, yeah.
He's like,
yeah.
Yeah.
Claustrophobic, hates ghosts.
I know. And I saw.
No, I'm not claustrophobic at all. I just hate ghosts.
And men in diapers.
So what's that? So so then you're retired from Scary Farm, the haunt industry. What are you doing now, or what's your plan?
I mean, I have a few ideas. I still get featured like in Decay Brigade, and it's cool to do like podcasts like this. And you know, right now I'm just kind of focusing on me. I mean, I work for Peloton year round.
Right.
I know you know, I enjoy that, but I know that's not my final say. I really want to open up a restaurant, a barbecue business.
Oh, dope.
Oh, nice.
That's right. You
Well,
mentioned that.
you know
You
what?
mentioned that.
Your barbecue's fucking good too. I've had
Thank
it.
you, man. Yeah, thank you.
Good shit.
So yeah, I really want to open a barbecue business. And you know, I'm trying to just kind of think of. I'm trying to start a streetwear company. I'm just gonna say it on here. I mean, if you guys, whoever's watching this, whoever's watching this, I'm starting a streetwear company called Wednesday. So it's basically it's basically based off like the word like Wednesday Adams. It's like a little
I was
horror,
literally going to ask you that.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So Nikki, if you're watching this, I appreciate it. She gave me like a really cool design, and it's a really sick, cool design. It's very clean, very simple. I'm probably going to be rolling that out within the next few weeks. So hopefully when this airs, I'll be putting it out. So
yeah.
Are you doing something? Are you gonna do a separate social media thing for it? Or are you just gonna do it for your current page?
No, I have a separate social media. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to roll that out pretty soon. I'm going to put on my main page and be like, follow Wednesday. So it's be called Wednesday and Co. So yeah.
Okay.
Wednesday and Company, basically.
Make sure when
Wednesday
you do
Company.
that, make sure you do that. Send me a request. Follow request because I don't want to miss the window on that.
No, for sure. It's pretty cool. It's like a black and white. It has like Wednesday, like her drinking the poison, and then down the spine is Wednesday in Old English, like written out.
Oh, nice.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so it's pretty cool. So I'm gonna have a black and white, then a white and black, and then probably do eventually like let's see how that goes. Do a hat, do joggers, and let's see how it rolls.
Sweet.
Yeah. So you got a lot of plans already, and so it sounds like all this stuff has already been kind of going through your head.
Yeah.
You know, and the timing for you to kind of step away from the haunt world, well, on the working side is right for you.
Yeah. 100%. I think it's time. I just think it's time, you know? I mean, I give kudos to the dudes that work there like 20, 25 years. Like I give you guys kudos. And it's just not for me. I did 12 years. I loved it. I did everything under the sun I could think of at Haunt. I did promos. I did marketing. I did everything. Castly, Slider, meet my idols, hang out, know you guys, everything. Like I've done everything. Sliders Unite. Like there's nothing more for me.
Yeah.
And I'm very content. And it's like I'll say this. I wanted to do a street zone as a supervisor. But I just something's like no, like this is it. You know what I mean?
That's cool.
Yeah.
Your time is your time.
My time is out. Yeah, my time's my clock is at zero.
Yeah,
cool.
There's no time window.
Yeah.
For anybody to do haunt. It is weird now though. Like 12 years, that's a long time because a lot of people did 3-4 years and they're done.
Yeah.
You know, the turnover is so great now. It's not like it was back in Jeremy and I's day. And even the beginning of your days was people were there for, you know, in one area, even 10, 15 years.
Yeah.
You know, and
I think the part of it is, sorry, my bad.
No, go ahead.
I think the part of it is that I'm also so young. And when I tell people I've been at this event for 12 years, like when I told my talent this year, when they first met, I was like, hey, I've been at this event for 12 years. I know what I'm talking about. Trust me. To see people's face, like, dude, how old are you? I mean,
Yeah.
It's rare when you see someone 18 to 30 like just pumping it every single year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's a lot of commitment. And
it is.
You know, and I was always joking with my mom. My mom's like, you could have got 3 degrees working at Haunt. I was like, like, but I didn't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah.
A degree is not your path.
It's not. I strongly believe, and I follow a whole bunch of entrepreneurs, and I strongly believe I don't think you need college to be successful in life.
No, you don't. You need passion.
Yep.
100%. Passion and grit, and it can get you very far.
Yep. Passionate. Yeah. Passion.
If someone can be a millionaire off of foam noodles, pool noodles, you can be a millionaire in
Flugel
anything.
binders, dude.
Dude, the dumbest things.
Yeah.
Those don't even exist. They're not a real thing.
I don't know.
No.
Well, back in our days, it was pet rocks.
Yeah, pet rocks.
Oh shit.
Yeah, people get
Flugel binders
millionaires.
is that word that they came up with in that Tom Cruise movie Cocktail for the little plastic thing on the end of your shoelace.
Oh my god, that's pretty good. That's pretty solid. Now I can't unsee it.
Yeah.
Well, it
So that's
sounds, yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Jeremy.
I was just gonna say it sounds like you're gonna have a successful future coming up, and I commend you on that.
Thank you.
Any
Appreciate it.
promotion you need. I know that we don't have like a huge following, but like we're here. We're bros, and anything we can do to help you get your stuff out there, even support you. We'll buy some stuff and feature it on here. Like anything.
Sure.
We're
Appreciate
down.
it. Yeah, I mean, I appreciate that, you guys. I mean, for sure. I mean, I'll tell you this: the Wednesday stuff is gonna be like $15 per shirt. I'm not trying to break anyone's bank. Just Venmo me, and I'll put it. I'll make it. You know what I mean?
I'll just drive to your house, bro. You live 15 minutes away from me.
I'm right up the street now. Yeah.
That's cool.
So that's good though. But honestly, Greg, I'm just gonna put it out there. I don't think you're completely done. That's just something that's in me that I feel. I think that you might take a few years off, and then you're like, you know what? I want to go back. In whatever capacity, I just think that you might want to go back for at least 1 or 2 more years.
I might. I've thought about maybe 5-6 years. I'll go back and scare and be like a very slow character. But I mean, honestly, I just want to be a fan. I mean, I think a part of it is me adulting. I'm just like, I can't keep taking the time off in October and taking the PTO and, working my schedule around. Like legit this year, I'll tell you, this year, I damn near killed myself. I was working full time. So this is working at Peloton full time. So I was at Peloton Thursday through Saturday. I will be at work from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m., come home by 2:30, take a nap for an hour, and go to haunt from 4:30 to about 2:30 in the morning, 3:30 in the morning, go to sleep, and do it all over again.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I feel that. I did that
Dude.
for a large portion of my haunt career.
It's not fun.
No, it's not. You get to a point where I see your point. Like,
yeah,
you get there and you're like, it's just time for me to, because haunt isn't going to get you to your career. It's something you do for fun. It's very, very, very rare that you make a career out of what we do at haunt and stuff.
Yeah.
And
I
I commend you, just putting your hat up and saying, I got to move on to something else. And it sounds like you want to move on to your own thing and do the entrepreneurial thing, which I commend 100%.
Yeah.
So, that's cool.
Yeah, that's great.
Appreciate it. Yeah, man. I mean, I always tell myself I kind of have that mentality of being my own boss, and I don't want to see people fail. And I think I challenge the status quo 100%. And I think I'm a different kind of employee. Even my boss knows that. My current employer, I think that's why I got promoted so fast. He knows I don't like structure. I mean, I like structure, but I don't like A, B, and C. I think there's definitely Z, Y, and X. You can go a different route.
Yeah.
And
and get the same result.
Yeah.
And get the same result. And I don't think it's talked amongst society enough.
It's not.
I was just say that word 5 times.
I was like amongst.
It's funny, dude. Like you just said, you went through the painstaking process of working full time and doing haunt.
Yeah.
What really helped me was, well, one, I had an early ass makeup call time. I was in the chair at 3:25 every day.
Oh no.
So this is Wade too. We would both do the same thing because we had the same schedule. We come in early, get dressed halfway, get in the chair. After we're done with makeup, get the rest of our gear on, go over and take a nap on the porch for like an hour.
Yeah.
And that's before everybody sat up there. That was our spot. People like, don't fuck with them, they're sleeping. So it was great. That really helped us through the night.
With them.
Huh?
And of course we would fuck with them.
Well, you guys, but not people that didn't really know us.
No, of course.
I would have fucked with you for sure. Not Wade. Wade is a thief. Fuck no. I'll pass. I don't want a death wish.
Wade,
I can take.
Wade's he's a big teddy bear.
Yeah, he is.
He's a big teddy bear.
I never met the guy, but I know enough about him where I'm like,
he's very intimidating.
Yeah, he is.
He's a very smart and very intimidating person, but he's a big teddy bear.
Yeah.
Like once you get into his graces, man, he's like your family. He's a good dude. He's a really good
drinking with him is awesome.
That's dope.
Oh yeah.
Ren Fair, bro. Ren Fair.
Maybe 1 year.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Well, Greg, dude,
Well.
it's been fantastic having you. I really appreciate it, and we really appreciate you having you come on here and tell your story. We wish you much luck on your future. Yeah, man.
Yeah, dude.
I appreciate it, Jeremy. Thank you again. Both you guys, Scott, Jeremy, for having me on here. It's been fun to tell my story. A lot of people don't know, so
That's exactly
pretty cool.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's exactly it. We want to get people's stories out there.
Yeah. Do you want to plug your Instagram or anything?
Yeah. My Instagram is GregD619. I'll pop up. You can just add me on there, request me, and I'll follow you guys back and leave it as that.
Sweet.
Yeah. We look forward to seeing when you release your swag too.
Yeah.
My swag, yeah. Wednesday and Company, yeah.
Yeah, we look forward to that for sure. All right, guys. Well, thanks again for watching, and thanks again, Greg and Scott. Shut up. And no, I'm just kidding. And yeah, just
Jeremy actually talked this time.
I did. I talked this time. I was so quiet on the last episode with Gloria.
Oh, were you?
Yeah, I was very quiet, shockingly enough. So, Gloria, I'm not normally like that, so don't be offended. Scott just talks a lot.
He's just a little piss fire.
Yeah,
Keep it flowing, piss fire.
but that's why we love him, right?
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Follow us, share, like, and if you don't leave comments, I don't care.
Subscribe button.
Smash like button, thumbs up the video.
Yeah.
Do it all.
And if you don't, then as always, we don't care because we do this for us, and that's just the way it is.
Oh yeah. If you don't, your mom's a hoe. I'll tell you that to your face.
Damn. I didn't say that.
And the noble words of Roman meal. I mean, what?
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 All right, guys. Till next time. Peace out.
All right, see you guys. Peace out.
Thanks.
Adios.